The boxing bug has bitten you. You want to learn how to box. Maybe you want to learn how to box to compete. Maybe you want to learn how to box, how to stay in shape. Or maybe you, as a parent, want to get your child involved in boxing. So outside of checking your ego at the door and realizing that you most likely don't know shit about boxing when you walk into the gym, or when you want to learn on your own, or if you want to have your kids get into it, most likely, unless you have a boxing background, you probably don't know shit about boxing. But that doesn't stop you from learning about boxing, becoming more educated about boxing, and if you're trying to teach your kids about boxing, it doesn't stop you from taking the right steps to get them on the right path when it comes to boxing. So the very first thing, which I think is paramount when it comes to learning how to box, is conditioning. And the reason that conditioning is so important when it comes to boxing is because it's a very physically demanding sport. And not only is it physically demanding, but it is mentally demanding as well. Because there are so many things that you need to learn that break through what you've been doing your entire life. For example, when you need to move forward in your boxing stance, you don't step forward with your heel. You need to be stepping in a different pattern. You need to land with the ball of your foot, not with the heel of your foot. So right there, that's just one thing that you need to reprogram your brain to do. And there are a whole host of other things that you need to reprogram so you become better at boxing. And the reason that conditioning is so important when it comes to boxing is not only because you need it when you start competing and so you don't get tired, is because when you start learning something that is completely new to you, you're going to struggle. And by struggle, I mean not only physically, but mentally as well. So whatever you can do to build up your conditioning, it will help you both mentally and physically. Because when you start learning new things and you start creating patterns that you're not used to doing, your brain gets super tired and it wants to put your body to sleep. So a lot of times, newcomers to the gym will start getting tired after about 20, 30 minutes. And we haven't even done any physically exhausting things to make them tired. It's just your brain's natural response to, hell, I'm creating a lot of new patterns right now. This is something completely different. I need to take a rest. So that's why conditioning is so important when it comes to learning how to box. So when you're not in the gym or you're not learning how to box, you need to focus on your conditioning. The second thing you can do, which I think is overlooked by many, many, many fighters, is that sometimes you just need to relax, sit back, and watch boxing film. Because as a species, we learn from what we see happening. And you've all heard the term monkey see, monkey do. So I can tell you how I learned how to box and how I picked up a lot of things when I learned, as a little runt kid, going to Crunk Boxing Gym at the age of 5 or 6. Sometimes my dad got me involved. Maybe we hit the mitts. Maybe I shadow boxed. But most of the time, I just sat on the bench and then watched what was going on in the ring. And so I don't know how much information I gathered in those years of sitting on a bench when I wasn't working out because my dad was working out with my brother. But what I do know is that watching, world-class fighters, world champions train, seeing what they did in the ring, whether I was consciously aware of what I was picking up, I know that I was learning because down the road, when I started competing and when I started training more and more, I realized that I was doing things that my father had not taught me. I was doing things that I had, seen other people do, and subconsciously my brain had put that, in a bank for when I decided to use those things. So when it comes to learning how to box, I think it's critical for anyone that's interested in boxing that they watch boxing film, boxing videos. And what I do want to stress is you do not want to watch highlight reels. You don't want to watch, as a beginner, you don't want to watch the breakdown videos, because there's a lot of great videos out there on YouTube that will tell you this is why this person threw this punch at this time, and they break it down for you, scientifically and stuff like that. That's not what you want to do, because you want to watch a boxing match from the beginning to the end. You want to watch why fighter A is moving this way and fighter B is moving this way. You want to watch why fighter A is doing this, so you can see the entire progression over a 6, 8, 10, or 12 round fight. You want to watch the fight, because although you may not know what you're picking up, subconsciously your brain is absorbing that information of why this person is doing this or why this person is doing that. So that is the second most important thing you can do as a beginner, is start watching boxing film. Not highlight reels, not the super descriptive videos where they break down the video of why this person did this or that. No. You need to watch a fight from the beginning to the end, because you start learning styles, you start learning things that most coaches can't technically teach you, because there's a lot that you learn in boxing that someone else isn't teaching you, because you're picking it up visually from watching boxing fights, boxing videos. If you can watch a good amount of style of fighters, that's how you can learn how to deal with a good amount of style of fighters once you become competitive. So those are the two things that I feel as a beginner you should work on: your conditioning and watching boxing film. What are your thoughts? Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe, and leave your comments down below.